Hello, I am Madeline Frazier, and I am in the Contemporary Studio class 3033 with the Monday, Wednesday, 12 to 2:45 meeting time. Alrighty, here's a quick view of my project 2. It is called Candlelit Ritual. It is an 11 by 16 and 3/4 inch acrylic wash painting, and I'll explain it in the next slide. So the myth I chose to make a work based off of is Bloody Mary. I've always thought it was really fun just because it's like the first dark thing I ever really learned about. I remember being in elementary school and us like running to the bathroom to flick the lights and just like scream Bloody Mary, Bloody Mary. Um, of course, nothing ever happened, but we'd always sort of spook each other out and be like, "Ooh, I saw a shadow." So its origins are a little bit more benign. It was just sort of you walk around in the dark with a mirror, or you go up to a mirror at night with a candle and you just say Bloody Mary, and um, an apparition of your future husband would appear, or if you were going to die before you ever got to be married, you'd see like death. It's a little bit silly, but I guess it was just a fun little thing for people to do back then. Nowadays, she's a bit more dramatized and she'll come out of a mirror and strangle you, I guess. But I've always thought it was just sort of a fun little thing, and I like that she's always depicted as like oozing out of a mirror. So I have three things on this slide. So I have my palette after I finished my painting. As you can see, it's very warm, lots of oranges and browns and yellows and blacks. Um, and then I have my sketchbook, and the reason it's very sparse is because I had such a strong idea coming in with what I wanted to do, and the reason being is I attempted to explore this a little bit earlier. I was trying to I got really bored in quarantine and like set up like a Bloody Mary photo shoot, but I ended up like completely changing it and just became sort of a thing about like being dramatic in the bathroom. So this photo was never really used, it was sort of discarded, but I always wanted to do something with it. And so I took this opportunity to apply my original idea that was going with this like mini photo quarantine shoot I did and be able to turn it into a painting and really spice it up. So that was really fun to get to use, especially since I normally don't use myself as a reference. So that was another thing to push me. And another thing that I used to push myself is, again, I'm very new with painting. I only really started like last semester when I took my first painting class ever. So I really wanted to push myself with the medium and grow a bit more as an artist through that. So here are some work in progress stages from while I was painting, so sort of how I started, and then as I built up my layers, this is just sort of how I evolved. I think the biggest challenge is that I accidentally didn't use the right type of paper. I normally, just because I'm a printmaker, I normally only work with Stonehenge or BFK, and the paper I took was like the perfect size, and it was from my scrap file. And it was neither BFK or Stonehenge, so it wasn't really accepting of the paint. And I noticed that when I was like applying my first layer, um, that it was coming out very, I don't know how to say, but like not bold. So I had to be very careful with color placement because the color was not only as saturated on the paper, but it also wasn't taking, like if I applied too many layers, it would scrape off on itself. So I had to be very careful with color placement as I built up my layers. Alrighty, and once again, here is my final painting. And again, this is an 11 by 16 and 3/4 inch acrylic wash painting. I hope you enjoyed my presentation, and I hope you have a wonderful day. Thank you.